Earlier this week, clinical stage life sciences company Iambic, which is developing new medicines with the help of artificial intelligence, announced it raised more than $100 million in an oversubscribed funding round this week. Joining me now with more is Michael Sakura. He's Iambic's CFO and Chief Corporate Development Officer. Welcome from San Diego this morning, Michael. It's good to have you.
Thank you very much for having me. Great to be here.
Great to have you, and congratulations on this funding round. How is Iambic going to use this capital?
Absolutely. Well, this funding round, we raised over $100 million in an oversubscribed round from some great life science, technology, and growth investors. We just announced some very impactful clinical data at the European Society Medical Oncology Conference. And in that conference, we showed our molecule having multiple patient responses, a great safety profile, great activity across many different types of indications. And so this capital coming in to advance our programs, our suite of oncology programs through the clinic, to the clinic, and on their way to patients. And then beyond that, to continue to invest in our technologies where we've really established some of the leading technologies in the space for thinking about how to make predictions around protein structures, as well as predicting endpoints, how something could experimentally read out before you get to clinic, when you're in the clinic. And so you start to see in the life sciences, AI being utilized to understand not just how to design drugs well, but to develop them well. So you're not just advancing drugs quickly, but you're advancing better drugs.
Michael, what differentiates Iambic in this space?
Absolutely. I think Iambic has been around for about 5 years and really has brought forward some of these leading technologies. I acknowledge some of it here. Neuroplexer, which is a leading protein structure predictor. Enchant, which makes these endpoint predictions for how you might think about designing a drug. With those technologies, we bring those technologies to bear on the drugs that we know we want to develop ourselves or the ones that we want to develop for partners. You couple some of those great algorithms that we have with the ability to generate data in-house, and you're able to actively learn, make models better. And with that, you're able to refine what your design is going to look like. You're able to test it quickly, and you're able to advance that quickly to the clinic. And so it's how quickly can you learn? How quickly can you ultimately design and bring those drugs to clinic and make better drugs in the overall process as you want to learn continuously through every iteration.
What are the next milestones Iambic wants to reach after this funding round?
Well, I think this year we've had a tremendous year with getting drugs through, getting our lead program through major clinical data. Watch for other programs to be getting to the clinic, other oncology drugs like our KIT18A program, our CDK2/4 program. We've signed several partnerships this year. Watch for us to sign additional drug discovery or clinical partnerships with other large pharma companies. And also, as you've seen us share some of the leading technologies that we've put forward in the space, like Neuroplexer, like Enchant. Watch for future versions of this to continue to expand the capabilities that Iambic has technologically, and also what that means for ways we're designing drugs ourselves or the kind of deals we start to strike with other large pharma partners.
We see stocks, at least the Dow, at a new record high today. Stocks recovering from a recent pullback amid this government shutdown with an end to that shutdown in sight. Does that impact the way that you operate at all with the expectation that we will see a reopening of the government this week?
Well, I think these kind of this kind of macroeconomic situation impacts all of us. That being said, I think Iambic, having had the support of substantial investors, being a smaller company, we can be nimble, we can be fast, we can adapt. I think what's also important is, Iambic, we synthesize many of the compounds that we use internally. So we control a lot or a substantial portion of our own supply chain. So it's important to be able to adapt nimbly, to act independently. And ultimately, when I think about the application of AI in the life sciences, as a scientist by background, I see us addressing some of the great scientific and societal problems of our time. How do we bring the best drugs forward to address patient need? And that is something that is very much in service of the national good. And if we can run all of these things, more efficiently, less friction, fantastic.
All right, Michael Sikora, Iambic CFO and Chief Corporate Development Officer, joining us after an oversubscribed funding round from San Diego this morning. Michael, thanks again.
Thank you for having me.
All right, I was recently on